growing up in the Jackson family, you know, you got my father and all the brothers and you know my aunts, and you see them do their thing on stage, and you're bound to get excited and want to do exactly what they're doing. You see how they're changing people's emotions in a way that most people aren't. So, you know, as a young boy growing up around that, you know, it seemed like we were at concerts every other weekend or every other week. And you just want to be that. So my brothers and I, we started rehearsing like we were the Jacksons or you know, Earth, Wind and Fire or Kool and the Gang. We thought we were them after seeing their show. And, you know, my father one day was like, this is all cool. I could see you guys are enjoying this, but you guys got to do your own songs. You know, you got to write your own music. And, you know, we started doing that, you know, with my father's guidance and my mother's, you know, support and my Uncle Michael's support. We continue to do it and to grow. And you know, here I am decades later, still doing my music and loving it.
Still doing it, man. Absolutely. But so now you wanted to do music from Jump Street. So let me ask you, did you feel like you were low-key pressured into it because of the type of family that you already had?
You know, it's funny because when I used to get that question, I would always say no. And the reason why is because I grew up playing baseball, and that was my passion. That was my love. I thought I was going to the major leagues. But no family member ever said you have to do this or it'd be great if you did this. But the reason why I first said, you know, I used to say no is because now I think there may have been some pressure from myself, you know, like inner pressure to do what you feel like you were put on this earth to do. Um, you know, I'm not saying we were great as youngsters, but we still, when we started doing our little shows and stuff, we could see us making some type of ripple or effect on the audience. So, and this was when I was probably 9 years old. So I knew from then that it was something it felt like I was supposed to be doing, but never did the pressure, never was the pressure tangible, if that makes sense. I never, you know, we were never in a meeting saying, when are you guys going to release that? It was never like that. So I guess the answer is no, but maybe from myself.
Maybe for yourself. I'm gonna, even though this question may be a little premature, but I want to ask you now because we're on this topic. Do you feel like you wish you would have had more pressure to kind of be able to get that more tenacity? Do you feel like they were more hard on you? You wish that.
I don't. I really don't, you know, because I could see why I would want to, or why the question you're asking the question, but I think, you know, I think, as I said, one of the most popular questions, I swear it felt like with 3T, we got this question every time was, do you feel pressure? Do you feel pressure? And we always answered no, because we didn't, you know. And I think if our parents or our family turned up the heat a bit, it could have made us feel pressure. And I don't really think you can perform at your best or be your best when you're feeling a certain, you know, too much pressure. And
Yes.
now that I'm older, I understand the Jackson legacy, you know, and people say, "Hey, what do you mean you now understand it? How did you not know it then?" It's because my family was so humble, you know, and it wasn't till I would be, you know, at my child's, at a dinner for my child, and you hear the next table talking about Heartbreak Hotel or a song of the Jacksons or one of my family members that wasn't a single, and that you realize, oh, it's just more than just pop culture. Some people are living and breathing what my family's accomplished. And that's when I start realizing, oh, maybe I do need to turn it up. Maybe I do need to add to this in a certain high level. So I'm getting it more. I'm feeling more as I get older. But when I was younger, I didn't. And I think that was the healthiest way for us to be 3T.
So it kind of gave you the opportunity to kind of form your own opinion and your own love for the
Yeah.
craft that you were developing.
Yeah. And I think that's you know, there's not that many people who follow in their parents' footsteps. And I don't want to put, you know, talk about anyone's kids or anything, but if you think about it, there's so many, you know, you got a sport like basketball, which everyone seems to play. You know, here in America, if you're a black kid, you usually playing basketball, or at least rec, you know. And you got to imagine there's not that many professional basketball players who have kids that make it at such a high level. And I think it's a lot because of the pressure, the eyeballs. You know, when that kid, any big celebrity, any big legend, NBA legend, when their kid steps on the court, you know, they are hearing that's that kid. You know, and that it's hard to perform day in and day out with that pressure. We didn't really hear or feel that, you know, and I don't know if it's because our family protected us from that, but we were able to escape that. And I think that's why we were able to carry on with that kind of confidence, naive confidence, you know, going through those growing pains to get better. I think that was the reason why we were able to get through that period and to break it out and do our career. So I think pressure is a good thing. But I think in certain situations, when your family is well known in that field that you want to be in, you got to be very careful with the pressure because it could break your spirit.
Mm. Well, listen, Jackson dropping gems for free tonight. All right, so make sure y'all listen to that. Too much pressure is not always the way to go because it could just break.
No.
All right.
You know.